Think of this. When I ask you to name some states that see dangerous separatist activities in India, which one would you think of first? Kashmir, Punjab, maybe some states in the northeast. But what if I told you that there is one state that has sown the seeds of separatism for decades and it's waiting to reap the fruits? Mind you, no one even remotely considers this state and its politics to be an active participant in separatism. No points for guessing. It's Tamil Nadu, United States of South India, Tamil Elam, Dravida Nadu. These are not just names that I created out of thin air. These are some dangerous dreams that some people belonging to some parties has started to see. You know what the best part is? These guys don't use guns to achieve their goals. They use the pen. Why did you think of Kashmir and Punjab when I asked you about separatism? I'm sure that you have pictures of stone pelting, terrorist attacks, and even grenades blowing up etched in your subconscious memory. But these are not images you see coming from Tamil Nadu. And that precisely is the problem. When you see a gun wielding individual standing in front of you, you clearly know who the enemy is. But when they adopt ways that seem innocent, that is a more complicated situation. Let's simplify this for you. There are three ways in which some individuals and parties promote separatism in Tamil Nadu that seem perfectly innocent but have a sinister outcome. Number one, promoting the us versus them narrative. Then, overhyping regionalism and state patronage. And idealizing figures who hate the idea of united India. And viewers, we are not afraid to name the political party in question here. It's the DMK and their stooges in the mass media and social media who are creating a fertile ground for the secession of Tamil Nadu from India. Luckily, since we are not based out of Tamil Nadu, the DMK government cannot send their henchmen to intimidate us or use the police to arbitrarily detain us like they have done for other bold journalists and activists. Let's take a deeper dive into the three ways we just mentioned here. Not a day goes by on social media without seeing North Indians being belittled as Bimarus and Pani Puri walas. Of late, it's a trend to compare people from the North and the South and claim flimsy superiority. North Indians, they breed like pigs. Oh, by the way, these are not my words. These are some very intellectual words spoken by a minister in the Tamil Nadu cabinet called Durai Murugan. North Indians, they rear cows and sell pani puris. Again, not my words. These are some esteemed words spoken by DMK Minister T.M. Ambarasan. North Indians, brainless folks who are fit for nothing. And this was spoken by the senior leader R.S. Bharati. When leaders at the top set such low standards of discourse, it should come as no surprise when those in the lower rung take them to the gutter. Putting down North Indians is one thing. Claiming to be superior or a God-sent social group is another. There is a new phenomena these days on Twitter called We Tamils. We Tamils, we are not Hindus. We Tamils, our food is different and better. We Tamils, we don't want to be called Desi. And finally, we Tamils, we are not Indians. At first, they may seem like fringe comments that are best ignored. When such remarks are made continuously for years together, they create a detrimental way of thinking, which is we are different and we are superior. When India was partitioned in 1947, this was the exact modus operandi. Muslims were led to believe that they were pure and different. When this reached its peak, they felt that it was impossible to share a country with the less pure Hindus. Want a quick trivia? The word Pakistan means land of the pure. After the DMK government was elected in 2021, one of the first things the cabinet did was using the word union instead of central for the government in Delhi. Seems perfectly innocent, right? If anything, the constitution uses the term union of states. The devil is not in the term, but in the intent. When DMK ministers and leaders use this term continuously, it will create an impression amongst the public that the government in New Delhi is formed by the states of India and it's nothing more than a mere coordination body for the states. And this is not a stretched assumption or an unbased opinion. There was once a point in time when the leaders of this party, in its initial stages, advocated for a separate country. I don't want to lecture you like a social science teacher on the types of federalism. None of us have a 10 marks answer to write here, do we? Long story short, the constitution, both in letter and spirit, is absolutely clear on the fact that the government in Delhi is far stronger and has much larger ambit. At the risk of offending some DMK trolls, the central government also has the right to declare precedence rule in the state, carve out multiple states from Tamil Nadu, or even make it a union territory. Let's take a different tangent here. Did you know that the government of Tamil Nadu decided to not go with the rupee symbol that is internationally used? Yes, you heard that right. DMK has done away with the symbol in the budget document because it apparently looks like the Devanagari script. They have instead used the Tamil letter Ru as the unit. And if there is a perfect example of irony dying a slow, painful death, it is this. The rupee symbol was designed by a Tamilian called Uday Kumar, and he is the son of a former DMK MLA called Dharmalingam. Finally, idealizing divisive figures. It is perhaps only in Tamil Nadu that you will see an elected government practically worshipping a man who married his own adopted daughter. It is also the only state where the so-called intellectuals will give all sorts of explanation to justify that. If you don't know who we are talking about, it's E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, also known as Periyar. The problem with this man today is not that he married his daughter. Well, as horrendous as it may sound, the reason I'm talking about him is for his views on the Indian state. He advocated for a Dravida Nadu, the separate country for South India. He reportedly met with Jinnah to seek support for this movement, but couldn't garner enough support back home due to the strong influence of the Indian nationalist movement. He hated the idea of independence and strongly believed in the British rule. So much so, he declared 15th of August to be a day of mourning. Jawaharlal Nehru, the great-grandfather of DMK Supremo, brother and friend Rahul Gandhi, once opined, Periyar is lunatic, criminal and perverted mind and should be put in a lunatic asylum. Sadly, this man has roads, localities, trains, rivers and forests named after him in Tamil Nadu. He is hailed as a social reformer, and anyone who calls him out is cancelled. Little are the people of Tamil Nadu told that Periyar was not a Tamilian and said the following. I have been saying that Tamil is a barbaric language for about 40 years. Tamil is a nuisance. Tamil poets are enemies. I was thinking of how to summarize this video, and I thought I'll address the new separatists directly. To all those who dream of a Dravida Nadu, don't. Stop dreaming. Wake up. It's not happening today. It's not happening ever. If you want to know how I am so sure, go ask the folks who tried in other parts of the country. The ones who are alive and kicking will also persuade you to forget your dream. We are all one country, one people. We have a shared history and have fought against invaders shoulder to shoulder for centuries. Sure, some parts of the country may not perform that well. Sure, some regions have different practices. That doesn't make us all different. We are where we are as one entity due to our shared strengths. Let's not lose sight of how far we have come together. India might have a million internal differences, politically, socially, linguistically, and so on. Our system may not be the best all the time. Our politicians don't always take a united stand. But do not mistake that for incompetence or indecisiveness. When it comes to defending the integrity and unity of the country, the Indian state will come down very heavily on separatist movements and leaders with its full might. This is Sampriti. See you in the next one.